Hey guys, Lightane here, and this video is going to be my spoilery thoughts on Ultra Despair Girls. Yep, that's why I got this shirt, just for that reason. Now, this is going to be so full of spoilers, so if you have not played the game, then definitely do not watch this, otherwise you're going to like ruin it for you. If you want a spoiler-free review of the game, then you can click up here. Otherwise, spoilers galore, you have been warned.
Danganronpa.
In my main review of this game, I purposely avoided talking about a certain character because it would have been spoilers, but now I can! So let's look at Servant, or should I say Nagito. He is in this game! When I first saw him, I was shocked and happy because I really like this guy and he's one of my favorite characters from Danganronpa 2. In Danganronpa 2, we are told that he was a remnant of despair, and to get to see him actually doing stuff, man, that's pretty cool. I mean, it would have been cool, except he really doesn't do all that much. He is around and he even helps advance the plot, but I expected him to use his luck on us in an evil way, but he doesn't at all. That would have been really cool to see, and it would have made me understand why he was so threatening as a remnant of despair, but we really don't see anything. There just wasn't much for him to really do in the game. I thought at the start that he was the co-mastermind behind everything, and in some ways that is true, but not really. It's a shame that they did not use him to his full potential. As for the children, I think they were all done fairly well, with Jotaro being the most annoying one, and I really hated him. But that's exactly the point of the game was trying to make, so good job, game. Out of the five, the only kid I really liked was Nagisa because he wasn't annoying. Monika was an interesting character, but I felt like she was way too smart. Going on from my previous idea, I would have liked more of Nagito supporting her. I know the point is that we couldn't guess that a small child was doing all these horrific things, but I did guess that. Both Shirokuma and Kurokuma were also a little lame. I knew that Shiro was going to betray everyone. It's a Monokuma that mysteriously got sentience. Yeah, right, as if that's going to be a nice character. Kurokuma was worse though, because I just didn't find him funny or entertaining. He wasn't even all that involved with the plot either. I don't even know why he was around. In my main review, I touched upon my dislike for Haiji Toa, and man, by the end of the game, I hated him. What a douchebag and what a coward. He was so willing to kill every single kid in Toa, even though he found out that they were all being brainwashed. What a dick. The rest of that ending though was really intense, and I liked the choice that was given to me. I would have liked for maybe a few other endings depending on when you gave in to that button press, but it was still really cool. This wouldn't be a Danganronpa game though if it didn't have way too much exposition right at the end. The final area is chock full of story, and literally every 5 minutes of gameplay has you stop to listen to that story, and then there is this massive wall of text before and after that final battle. One thing that this game does do differently from the other Danganronpas is that there are 2 final bosses. That's cool, I really like it. Feels like there was just that little bit more to the game. But both of those final bosses are so boring. Here I thought they were going to test me in everything that I've learned up until that point, but they are pretty basic instead. They are just long, drawn-out fights, and thanks to that resupply feature, they give you hearts in the middle of the fight to keep you alive. This ruins any challenge that the fight has. Lastly, that ending was meh, which is actually kind of the point of the game because our heroes choose a middle path, not hope, not despair. But it doesn't resolve the story though, which annoys me. The adults and children are still at war and they are still brainwashed. There isn't a solution or a way forward or anything, and playing through this entire game only to have it end like that is a letdown. The after credits scene to me was also really confusing. It shows Shirokuma and Kurokuma talking to each other, and then they add some more information about how they were working together and how they were evil. They even start talking like Junko by the end because, fun fact, the voice actress for Junko does both of their voices. It's a great touch, and it just further highlights how evil they are and how part of despair, until Azuro puts a stop to it. Yeah, Azuro's in this game, and I loved seeing him at the end. It was such a tease, and I wanted to see more of what he was doing in the world while he was a remnant of despair. But I'm not gonna lie here, I was very confused with that ending. Like, why was Azuro in Toa? What did he want with the Monokumas? Why push them so far out of the city before taking the chips out of their brain? He could have just done that straight away. I had to look it up online, and it turns out that those two AI chips were needed to make the alter ego Junko from Danganronpa 2. I never would have guessed that, but it also adds even more questions, like why were those two particular Monokumas there in the first place? Who programmed them? Why? I suspect it was Monica, but I couldn't find anything online to prove my thoughts. Who activated those bears? Unless Shirakuma's story is a complete lie, he was only sentient from 3 days ago. So who did all of this? It just adds a whole lot of messy questions from this one little scene. Oh, so bad. I think a much better post-credit scene would have had Nagato and Azuro cross paths. That would have been really cool, but nope, we don't see that. Oh well. But funnily enough, there are hints of an Ultra Despair Girls 2 floating around the internet, so maybe all of these questions that I have might be answered someday in a sequel. So guys, those are my spoilery thoughts about Ultra Despair Girls, but tell me your thoughts about it. Did you like the ending of the game? Because personally, I didn't really like it, especially with that stupid middle ground thing. Also with that bonus scene with Azuro, I kind of understood it, but at the same time, I didn't really get it. I had to look it up to understand, and like it just left me with a lot more questions than it should have, so that's not good. That's not how I wanted to end my experience with the game, especially when everything else in story related was fairly good up until that point. But guys, tell me what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!